What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Francis, here with my fellow co-hosts, Oscar Morale,
Hey guys, how you doing?
and the king himself, Colin Fursley.
What's up?
We have a good one for you guys today, so let's just get right into it.
All right, last weekend was Super Wild Card Weekend around the NFL, first round of the playoffs. And so we just want to make today, it's going to be a little shorter, a bit shorter episode, just talking about NFL and the playoffs, and that's about it. So we'll start off now with the wild card round in the NFL. A lot of surprises. We made our predictions. Last week, but there are a lot of
Yeah?
surprises that happened this time around. So we'll start off first with the first game that happened. The Browns got absolutely demolished by the Texans.
Oh yeah. I mean, this was a beating, and if I may say, when they say Super Wild Card Round, they really put the super in it this time. Like the script writers are going crazy. This
Yeah,
was this was a beating. Joe Flacco had two pick sixes, which is like, bro, seriously? Like, what happened to the Flacco sauce? 5-0 wild card? Not anymore. But I mean, dude, the Texans played great. CJ Stroud just was amazing. Near perfect passer rating, off by 1 point. And I'm excited to see how far this team will go through the playoffs.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
he had
sure.
a he had an amazing game.
Yeah, it was an absolute crazy weekend, and you know what? Remember what I said last week? CJ Stroud for offensive rookie of the year, and he's just proving me right. All right, like the man is playing lights out. All right, arguably the best offensive rookie. I know statistically there's better seasons, but the eye test for sure, he's the best offensive rookie I've ever seen.
Oh, let's see,
Man,
because I know Puka Nakua did go off too. So
No,
that is true.
yeah,
but the impact
Uh,
on winning is there, man. The impact on winning is there. That's all I gotta say.
yeah, he definitely led
yeah,
his team to this
absolutely.
win. The Texans defense played phenomenal, like Mark you mentioned, two pick
Yeah,
sixes on back-to-back drives, I think it was by Joe
yeah, it was
Flacco.
back-to-back drives. Yeah.
And they only held him to 14 points, so defense
But
stepped
yeah,
up pretty big. Nico Collins with a monster stat line,
Oh
696
yeah,
and one.
and
And
even
when in doubt, Joe Flacco's gonna keep on feeding Njoku, so
yeah,
yeah,
that's gonna happen.
no,
and
absolutely.
and if we're being honest here as well, the Texans' defense has been, a surprising revelation. I've been saying this throughout the season as well. I was like, the reason Texas is so successful is yes, mainly due to their offense and their young quarterback CJ Stroud, but their defense has been very like steady and reliable, and I think that's very important, especially in the playoffs as we've seen. You could have superstars on defense. Uh, but if your defense is reliable, I would take that nine
Absolutely.
times out of ten over a star-studded defense that has no coordination.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
absolutely. And Coach of the Year candidate D'Amico Ryans is really what turned this whole team and specifically the defense around as he used to play for the Texans, back in the day.
Yeah.
But
Well,
now,
if
oh,
there's one
go
thing I may
one more thing.
mention about the
Yeah,
the,
go
the
ahead.
Browns, they played with a lot of stars out and a lot of their studs, and I'm really curious how they would do next year. For example, having Nick Chubb back, I mean,
Oh yeah,
devastating losing him for the
that
season. And I'm curious how Deshaun Watson is gonna work through this offense that really has shown they can thrive. Njoku popping off,
I
Cooper
mean,
popping off, Elijah Moore. I mean, he has a solid backing and a decent offensive line. I'm curious how he's gonna work with this team next year. And the Texans as well, benching Stroud in the whole fourth quarter. Uh, this really shows how big of a beating it was. So great game.
no, absolutely,
Yeah,
Mark. And if I mean, you pointed it out greatly. Like their offense has been great, and it's nothing complex. It's not a Mike McDaniel
Huh?
offense. It's very simple play action, tried and
Yeah.
tested and proven. And Deshaun Watson, if he can just get those fundamentals down and
Oh
be
yeah.
half of the quarterback he was for the Texans, that Cleveland team is very scary for next year, man. Especially
Oh,
with Nick Chubb
absolutely.
back.
Oh,
yeah, for
absolutely.
sure. Well, speaking of a Mike McDaniel offense, let's move along to the second game. Absolute heartbreaker. Although I guess you kind of probably expected this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Dolphins They lost 7-26. I mean, so we came into this game, we had no players on defense. Everyone was out. Our defense played
Yeah.
really, really well.
Yeah,
Surprisingly,
they did.
Uh,
yes, the defense
Surprisingly,
played
yeah.
much better than the
yeah,
offense, even though they were a
they
lot
held
more hurt.
Mahomes to yeah, absolutely. They held Mahomes to like 5 field goals or whatever it was. But I will say though, everyone's like, oh, the offense is disappointing. They only scored 7 points. All their players were back. Okay, yes, everyone played, but they're still hurt though. Like they just played
Yeah.
because it was a playoff game. It's not
Yeah.
like they're fully healthy all of a sudden. So, we were a little bit limited on offense. Obviously, the negative degree weather did not help either.
Oh
Lack
no,
of
no way.
playoff experience was really devastating to us. But overall, just to put it bluntly, our offense was terrible. Like,
It
I
was
love Mike
bad.
McDaniel. I know there are some people saying that, which is I think is outrageous, is like to consider firing him. I think
I think
that is
that's insane.
blasphemy. I don't know
Yeah,
why people think that.
no,
I just think
you
he's a
shouldn't
young
do that.
guy, like players. They need a couple years in the league to get
Yeah.
acclimated, things get better. Same thing
Especially
with
for
Mike
the
McDaniel. I think
head coaching position.
he just needs to have a couple more years under his belt, improve on his play calling because
Hmm.
some things were questionable, and I think he'll get it right next year and for many years to come. Uh, as for
There's
Tua, give him his money. Uh,
I was just gonna mention that.
yeah,
People are questioning, is Tua capable of leading this team? And I think the fact that people are mentioning that really shows that they have no faith in the Miami Dolphins. Tua, get him the money. I think he's learning every year. He's getting better bit by bit. We have a great offense building. We have a few more years of Tyreek Hill. We have a few more years of Raheem Mostert, and we're approaching Jalen Waddle's extension in 2 years or 1 year. So it's about time before we got to start paying up these guys. So
No,
assuming
no,
Tua's a team player, maybe he won't go for the biggest contract. He knows he hasn't played as great, but still, he has the games where he pops off. I'm curious how this whole contract negotiation between Tua and Christian Wilkins and all these different players is going to play out. I'm really curious.
yeah, definitely what you were saying, Mark. I have no question in the fact that Tua can be a captain and a leader of this team. However, and I say this with all the fanhood possible. I am a Dolphins fan. I just need to see Tua be able to perform in big moments, and we've seen
Yeah,
it throughout the regular season this year as well. This is no slight on him as a leader. I think he's an amazing leader, but he does need to come up in the big moments, and I feel like a lot of the time, and I'm not a Tua hater, but he does tend to get tense in big moments, and I
yeah,
mean, we've seen it multiple times, whether it was in the Philly game in the fourth quarter or throughout the first half of the Kansas City game or on other occasions as well. I mean, I don't even want to talk about the Bills game, the first one or the second one, because I mean, the second one we were competitive, we were winning in the first half, but I mean, we had three or four offensive drives in the second half and didn't convert on any.
yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's
It's
not that he's
brutal.
a bad player, just staying calm when the
mhm,
pressure rises up and performing how you need to perform. I don't need him to be a
yeah,
spectacular gunslinger, but just make the
No.
right throw. That's all it is.
We have the team. We have some good play calls. Definitely, Mike McDaniel's has to maybe rethink some of the decisions he makes. We can tell he's a risk taker. He likes taking risks. He does these really impulse decisions. We've seen it on Hard Knocks. Oh, we're gonna run on this drive only. Oh, we're gonna pass on this drive only. Right? If you want to have shenanigans in a blowout game, go for it. But when a game that matters. There has to be a scheme. You have to do your scouting and understand how this team is going to play. And clearly there was something just wasn't right, and they decided to do a lot of these questionable plays. And granted, the offense didn't play as well as they should. A lot of drop passes, a lot of bad runs. But I mean, still, you got sometimes you got to feed Raheem the dream. Sometimes you got to throw it to Waddle. I mean, there's just different plays you got to know. I think we need a tight end. We need a
yeah.
tight end.
I think we're fine. I think a lot of this has to do with recency bias. The
Yeah,
Dolphins have been on a little bit of a losing stretch the last 4 or 5 weeks, ever
Yeah, I
since the
mean,
Tennessee game. But
well,
people just completely forget. Like everyone's like, "Oh, the Dolphins are bad. Everyone hates them. Their team is bad. Blah blah."
they're not. They're
Did
not. There's
Were we
no.
not 9-3 to start the season? Like I don't understand. Everyone was like, Tua's gonna win MVP.
Yeah,
Tyreek's
Tua
gonna
was
win
winning MVP.
MVP. And then all these people get hurt, and now it's like, oh, we hate the. I mean, first of all, the media hates the Dolphins. Let's just get that
Yeah,
out there.
that's
That's just
true. But well,
that's
I
very
think
true.
it's important to
Any
consider as well. We lost to the first, second, and third seed consecutively in the last three games. I mean, we lost to Baltimore.
Yeah,
Baltimore,
absolutely.
they
We
were
had
the
a tough
first
schedule.
seed.
Yeah,
Buffalo was the second seed because they beat us in that game, and then we lost to the
Yeah,
Chiefs, who were the third seed, and they were at home playing at Arrowhead,
yeah.
which is infamously known for being one of the toughest environments to play in, especially over the last few years. I mean, Patrick Mahomes and Arrowhead almost certainly always spells your demise.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, the Dolphins have a very long offseason ahead of them. Trying to see how the people that got injured, how they're going to come back, signing the players that need to be re-signed, and hopefully not making any stupid decisions. But I will give credit to Chris Greer. He's done a great job the last couple years building this team,
Yeah,
and I'm very optimistic for the future.
and
Yeah,
I gotta give props to Vic Fangio as well. He's done pretty good with the
yeah,
defense when
I'm
we had all the
very,
star players.
very, very
So
excited to see how Vic Fangio evolves this defense next year. It's truly going to be scary for the rest of the league. I think so, at
watch
least.
out, because we're coming. We're coming.
When
Yeah.
our defense was healthy this year, I mean, you saw everything after week six was brutal, man.
Pay Kohu.
All right. All right. So now got the Cowboys versus the Packers. Is probably one of the biggest upsets of the actually it was the biggest upset of the week. As
Them
Steven
Cowboys! Where the hell are you at?
oh my
Where are
God.
you guys? This year's our year. This year's our every year's your year. You just lost to the Jordan Love, the 7 seed, the Green Bay Packers. You guys have one of the best defenses in the league. You have one of the best offenses in the league, and you couldn't score a point for your life. For your life. You
Yeah.
gotta read Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is a problem. I don't. I think you gotta retire. You're old, bro. You're old. You gotta get out of there. Mike McCarthy, I'd give him one more year. Okay, Dak Prescott. I don't know. You're on the last verge. Come on, guys.
No, Mark. Hold on. Look, the Cowboys, same thing with Dolphins, had a great year. Everyone was riding high. One of the best teams in the league.
They are.
Mike McCarthy turned it around. He
Yeah, he
turned his
did.
career around. He saved his job. Blah blah blah. And then look, the playoffs. Obviously it's the most important time of the
If
year.
I'm not mistaken, I
And
believe
and
the
this is
Dallas
very and
Cowboys.
this is very embarrassing. Okay,
Oh,
but
this is very embarrassing for any
like
Cowboys
the
fan.
thing is though, like everyone's overreacting. Like they lost the game,
Well,
yeah, and everyone hates the Cowboys. Cowboys America's team. Everyone wants to rag on them, so I understand the ragging. But
I
to
love
go as
ragging on
far
them.
to say that Mike McCarthy needs to get fired and Dak Prescott is not their guy, that's ridiculous.
No,
You watch the entire season. What are you saying? Like I don't understand these
that's why.
people that
That's
oh
why
Mike
they're.
McCarthy needs to get fired,
I
blah
think.
blah blah. Like I
Well,
don't I don't understand this.
Colin, I
It doesn't
think
make any sense to me. They had a great season, and yeah, this sucks for them, but like all of this overreacting from all the ESPN shows and all this stuff, like it's ridiculous. Like
Colin, if
come
I'm
on.
gonna be honest with you, I think you're wrong in just one aspect. You're right, this is a great team. They played great. It's still a great team. However, clearly and put simply, there's a problem in Dallas, whether you want to
Yeah.
call it a curse or an internal problem with management or coaching, whatever you want to call it, there's a problem. Because year in and year out, this team either loses in the Super Wild Card weekend or in the divisional round,
Mhm.
and it is every year without fail. And it's
Yeah,
astonishing
well,
because they have great teams every time. They have good coaching. Even like I think it's fair to
yeah,
say
exactly. That's my point.
that they have all the qualities necessary. So when you have everything you need, you got to be held accountable and you got to be responsible.
Well, what do
It's
you want
not
them to
just
do?
win.
They're
You
just
have to
like they're
win.
just it just they just got really unlucky, and I mean you can call
That's
it a
not,
curse,
you're
whatever. They
wrong.
just always get
No. Well, Colin, you're
how.
wrong because they
You
didn't get
just said
unlucky.
they have great players and they have great coaching. So what
Okay,
could be
right.
wrong?
What's wrong is that they don't show up when it counts most. You can't let a seventh, and trust me, I love to see what Jordan Love did. Like, this is a very, very pleasant surprise. But if I was a Cowboys fan or a Cowboys player, I mean, I would be like furious. If I was associated with the Cowboys in any ways, I would be absolutely furious. You can't let a seventh seeded team drop 48 points on you, and you're the second seed playing at home where you were undefeated for the season. That's just
Yeah.
impossible. You have to have a restructuring throughout the entire organization. Clearly, it's year
For
in
one
and year
game,
out.
for what
No,
you go
but
12 and
this
6 and you need to get rid of the entire organization because of one
that's
game.
not
That
what I
doesn't make any
said.
sense.
I said you need a restructure. And second of all,
Yeah.
it's not one game. It's every year. Clearly, I mean, last year it was the Niners. The year before that, it was also against the Niners. And then the year before that, I mean, you can go back as long as you want. It's the same thing with the Dallas Cowboys every year. They get to the playoffs and they always don't perform. They need to learn how to
I'm
perform.
I'm curious what this team is gonna do. I really am, because we all know they let go Ezekiel Elliott, right? Now they have Tony Pollard. Everyone said Tony Pollard this, Tony Pollard that, and he hasn't been doing great. They're drafting, as a team, drafting these players has to, maybe get a little better. But this is going to be a really interesting offseason because I know management is fed up. I know Dak Prescott is fed up. And Dak Prescott's a very humble player. And he said it was on him. He threw 2 picks. He played horrible. 403 yards, that is not playing horrible. That really is not playing horrible. Okay? He
Yeah, I agree with you, but I
he
do
threw
want to
for
also point out that he threw 60 passes.
yeah, but that's the thing. He threw 60 passes. So what's going on in the play calling? How do you let your quarterback throw 60 passes? Like
Yeah,
at
I
this
will.
rate?
The reason that happened was because they were trying to come back from behind, so they didn't want to run the
No,
ball
And
at the same
also,
time.
I
I
a
understand, but
lot of it
if you
was in
have
garbage
as
time
a
as
team,
well.
if you
Like the
have
game was
trusted
lost
Tony
when a lot
Pollard,
of those stats came in.
Mark, what were you saying?
if you have trust in your running backs and you have trust in Tony Pollard, you let him get the carries. Aaron Jones had 21 carries. We didn't see Aaron Jones at all this season in the regular season. Regular season and playoffs
Because
are
he was
very
hurt.
different. Yeah, but still, um, he was hurt, but he played more than half games, and he still did not do this ballistics. He didn't get over 15 carries in one game, right? I mean, the difference between playoffs and regular season is drastic. You have to understand what you're doing. It's a team game, and having a team like the Green Bay Packers, who were popping off the second half of the season, come in and beat you. This team's hot, right? They're a tough team to beat. This team's hot, but it's unacceptable, and I'm curious what they're gonna do. I really am. I'm curious what overthinking management can do, and I'm really hoping they don't make any stupid decisions, and I hope they get a
Yeah.
running back,
Yeah,
Dalvin Cook.
I don't think they need to do anything drastic. I mean, look, if you told me the Cowboys scored 32 points this game, I would have told you they would have blown them out. And the defense just allowed 48 points, which is ridiculous. You can't,
Yeah.
you can't change things. You have a great coach and you have good players. So pretend you change the coach. You're not going to find a better coach now than Mike McCarthy. You're
No,
not.
Mike McCarthy is a great
So,
coach right now.
so there's really nothing you can do to change it. Like it's just unfortunate. They just have really bad luck, and yes, it is luck in the playoffs. If this happens this many times to you after having such great teams for many years, it's luck. Okay? So they've just had really bad luck in the playoffs, and it's unfortunate. But changing a player or a coach is not going to do anything for you. All right. Um. Now next game. After this game was the Rams versus the Lions game.
Best game of the
It was a
weekend.
really good. It was a really
This
good game.
was
Yeah.
this was
Best
a
game of the week.
great game.
Yeah, absolutely. It
Puka
was a really fun
Nakua
game.
setting the rookie playoff record for yards and
Yeah,
receptions.
yeah.
Wow. Wow, Puka Nakua, bro. Pop off. You're that guy.
Hey,
He
You
is.
are that
just
guy.
give him offensive player of the year, you
Give
know?
him
Just give
offensive
him to
rookie
him.
of the year.
I mean rookie of the year, my bad, my bad. I mean
Uh,
player of the year too, maybe, but no.
hey,
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford played a great game,
Hmm.
and he turned it on, and they weren't able to convert on some of the red zone positions, and of course the Lions second half, really the defense really came in clutch. They locked down, and they did well. The offense, maybe needed to thrive a little more, but I believe, is Sam Laporta out for the season?
Ooh, it's a good question.
Because I,
Uh,
I, I feel like he got hurt. Something with his knee, I think.
yeah, I think it happened in the let me see if he's on the stat sheet here. I'm pretty sure it happened the game before this. Okay, yeah,
No,
he
it
did play.
happened. It
Oh, it
happened
was
this
this
game.
game?
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was the game before.
I don't
I
know.
remember I remember being upset because of fantasy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last game. So he's back. He only caught 3 passes though, so maybe
Yeah,
didn't play that much, but I think
but
he is back.
but
They have
hey,
restricted amount of
I
snaps.
do I do want to mention one thing. Uh, the hit on Tyler Higbee. Are you serious? Are you serious? I don't know what that corner or safety, whatever position that guy plays. That's the second time he's done this to a tight end, and he's tore their ACL because he hits him right on the knee. Uh, and Matthew Stafford. I mean, if you watch the clips, Matthew Stafford told him, "You're dirty. You play dirty. You did this before. You play dirty." I mean, it just that's brutal for Tyler Higbee because he's always been a really consistent player. But
Yeah.
great game. Curious how far the Lions go. Dan Campbell, I love this guy. This guy drinks 2 ventis with like 4 espresso shots and eats one from Starbucks. I don't know how this guy's not overdosing on caffeine right now. He's crazy. But
He's
uh,
out there looking like a Cuban man off the cortaditos.
I mean, honestly, this guy might be Cuban. Who knows? He's got the Cuban in him. He's probably drinking like some really strong cafecito and some Turkish coffee. Like puts it all together. But
Man.
just wow,
And
wow, what
with
a game!
with this win, the Detroit Lions, they win their first playoff game ever at Ford Field, win the first playoff game since they lost to the Cowboys in the conference championship game. I believe it was 95. And you know what that means? The Dolphins now have the longest active playoff drought in NFL
Yep,
history.
That does,
and that's
Yay.
gonna break next year though, guys. That's fine.
Oh,
hopefully,
absolutely,
hopefully.
absolutely.
Super Bowl next year, baby.
All right, then the game that got rescheduled from Sunday to Monday, as we expected, it wasn't that close. I will say it did get close. The Steelers scored. I think they pulled within 1 touchdown. It got pretty close after that, and then the Bills got the ball and ran away with it. Josh Allen, very efficient day,
With a
phenomenal.
crazy long
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, 50 yard
running,
rush, I believe.
running
yeah.
touchdown, rushing touchdown,
Yeah.
with a fake slide, might I add. We gotta, I believe we're definitely gonna see next season a lot more quarterbacks trying to implement that fake slide, kind of like the Call of
It's
Duty
not
play.
legal though. It's actually
Uh,
not legal. So
Yeah.
I actually saw the clip about this, and some people are claiming it's a fake slide, and some people are claiming it's a juke because he never brought his leg down all the way like a specific quarterback. I don't remember who did it in college football. So it's interesting. People
it's
are
a,
saying it's a juke. I think it's a juke.
it's
I
a
don't know.
skill, whatever you want to call it. It's a skill that we're definitely gonna see a lot more quarterbacks using next season.
Hopefully, hopefully, it's
Yeah.
cool seeing quarterbacks run. But
Well, not
you
that
know
guy.
what?
I don't like
Not
that
yeah, no,
What
anybody but him.
guy.
what really cracked me up was the reporters asking Mike Tomlin about his job security.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'm sorry that he has not had a losing season at Pittsburgh. He has led them to the playoffs, and at some point they were predicted 4% chance to make the playoffs, and they made it. You cannot come at Mike Tomlin for having Mason Rudolph as his quarterback, and I mean this team is in shambles. I mean this offense is in shambles. You don't have a solid quarterback, you don't have a solid running back, and you
Also,
don't have a solid receiver. So,
also,
and TJ Watt was out.
this man works for the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lunar eclipse is more common than a head coach being fired at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like
Yeah,
That is
it
true.
will
that
take
is
an
true.
atrocity for him to be fired from the Steelers. And he's a great head coach. Like you said, he's never had a losing season. So
Yeah. He's like
I
Bill Belichick, but better. Like both of their teams suck, but he still finds a way to make them play well, and Bill
Yeah.
Belichick doesn't. So bye
Bye
Billy.
bye, Bill.
All
okay.
right, and then the last game. I mean, what do we have to say about this? What can we say, bro? Oscar's upset alert doesn't miss. It
I,
just
Bro,
doesn't miss.
what a guy.
It's he has never missed the upset alert actually.
there's
Not only did
there's
his
three
upset
things
alert
in
not
life
miss,
that you
it hit
can't
a lot.
avoid. Yeah, there's three things
Hmm.
in life that you can't avoid. That's death,
Yeah,
taxes, and Oscar's upset alert.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
I like that one.
absolutely. Yeah,
Put it on a t-shirt,
yeah.
underdog.
Put it on a t-shirt. Baker Mayfield. Oh my goodness, you had a day. Have a
Big
day.
play bake.
What did
Uh,
I say about comeback player of the year? What did I say?
okay. Well, unfortunately for you, these awards have nothing to do with the playoffs,
I
so
know, I
you
know.
can't be going off about that.
I no,
But
I
I mean,
understand, but the playoffs do
yeah, I know.
reflect
Yeah,
what.
you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, so I mean, he had an incredible day. Shout out Devontae Smith, by the way. I just noticed that stat line. Pretty good by him.
Yeah.
Uh, but obviously, the story of the day was the Buccaneers defense. They played unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Forced a safety. But that was kind of Jalen Hurts' fault. I don't know what he was thinking there. And they just couldn't attack. And the Eagles' defense was terrible as well. So Buccaneers defense played well.
What do you
Eagles defense played really bad.
what do you guys think the Eagles are thinking right now? What's the next? Because people are overthinking. People are saying Jalen Hurts is a problem. People are saying fire Nick Sirianni again
No,
with the
you
with
know what
the
the Eagles should be
overthinking
thinking?
and
They should be
go
thinking
What?
go ahead.
about thanking Jason Kelsey. What a career, man. Announced his
Yeah.
retirement.
Hey, he hasn't retired
He's,
yet.
Well,
He hasn't
well,
retired yet.
technically, he actually he said
Yeah,
he never
he
confirmed that
kind
he was
he kind of
retiring.
took it back. He kind of took it back a little bit. I don't know if he's actually gonna retire. We'll see though.
I think
But
this guy's gonna play for one more season.
yeah, he might. You never know. You never know. It's kind
well,
of a tough way
Um,
to go out, but
it is a tough way
well,
to go out, but
either
hey,
either way, they should just appreciate him. Whether this was his last game or it's going to be his last season, they still have a good team. They just got to figure out their defensive woes, get consistency going on offense, and this is a scary team again. Okay, they have all the building
something
blocks there. They just got
something
to
happened to
assemble
this
it.
team, man.
Yeah, they just got
yeah,
out
Something
of
happened
rhythm.
to this team.
They just got out of rhythm.
But I mean, you can get out of rhythm for a game, but for 4 or 5 back-to-back games,
Well,
that is.
this is why they have the whole off season to fix that.
But
Whatever.
I just
What?
I don't see this. Like I understand there are woos in the offense and woos in the defense, but
Well, yeah.
this shouldn't carry to the playoffs. And this team has always been incredible in the playoffs. Something I think personally, I think Jalen Hurts is dealing with some sort of injury that he
Well,
has neither
he's had
confirmed.
a nagging, yeah, he's had a nagging injury throughout the season.
Yeah, and I just I I don't think he's playing at his fullest. I think AJ Brown's also dealing with some sort of injury. He hasn't been playing at his fullest. And this
yeah, he was out.
defense,
AJ Brown didn't play this game.
yeah, and this defense is missing a lot of key pieces. And people
Yeah.
kind of float by that, but I'm curious what their plans are going to be the offseason. Are they going to make any big signings? Because I know the Eagles always do. So they make a
Probably
trade, they
will.
make a
Howie
signing,
Roseman is a genius.
and
Probably
We'll see
steal
what happens.
it's
from the
interesting.
Titans again.
I think this has got to be like top five biggest mid-season collapses of all time. Like they were
Yeah,
10-1 and they finished the season 1-6.
11. Yeah, that's
I
insane.
don't I don't I don't really understand. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what
They
to
had the
say.
one seed
Yeah,
on
they
lock.
Yeah, they did.
Lock.
They were 10-1.
yeah.
Insane.
Yep. Well, that is it for the games that happened. Oh no, am I missing one? No, no. Yeah,
Nope.
that's it. So that was it for the wild card round. Next this weekend we have Texans at Ravens, Packers at 49ers, Buccaneers at Lions, Chiefs at Bills. It's really interesting. If you told me that the Buccaneers or the Lions are going to be in the NFC Championship game, I think that's crazy. Um, so all right, now we're gonna go revisit our predictions, our NFL playoff bracket that we made last time. So just as a reminder, this is the playoff bracket that actually happened. This is what's going to be happening next
Hmm.
week. And then let's start. Let's start with myself. Uh, this is what I said. I got the top two AFC games right. I bet the Browns. That did not happen at all. And then on the NFC side, I only got one of them right. I said the Lions. I was right. Obviously, uh, Packers big upset, and then I mean, not I guess not a big upset to Oscar, but it was an upset. The Eagles beat the Buccaneers. Uh, then on this side, this is Mark's
Man,
little bracket.
I was
You
wrong.
want to
This
talk
was
about this?
bad. Yeah, this was bad. I mean, at least I got the Bills right on the AFC side. I really had the Browns going to the Super Bowl. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, you both did.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. Again, the upsets with the Packers and the Buccaneers didn't help my case, but at least I have the Lions. So yeah, go Lions.
Yeah. And then Oscar. How do you feel you did?
Well, here's what I have to say. Obviously, I had to support my team, the Miami Dolphins. And it wasn't biased. I genuinely believe that you know, there's definitely, if especially if we play the game again tomorrow, like there's a chance that we win that game still. Like the pieces are there. There's just a bit of a coaching collapse, especially on offense. And I just didn't believe that the Texans were ready offensively, like just yet. Like I think they're a great team, and I thought that this was the year that they learned from a loss in the playoffs in the divisional round. But boy, have they proven me wrong, and boy, am I glad about it. I'm a little sad that the Flacco Suns came to an end, but CJ Stroud, I mean, he continues to amaze me every single day, and I wish nothing but the best for that young stud of a quarterback. Uh, you know,
Yeah.
I gave the Cowboys too much hope. I expected them to lose. I expected them to lose at least in the NFC Championship. I knew they were going to lose, but wow,
Yeah.
not like that. Not like that.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
I
think
thought
the Cowboys are gonna win a Super Bowl in our lifetime, guys.
I thought hopefully not. I thought
Yeah.
the Rams were going to win, and you know what? It was a very close game. I think
Yeah.
I would say 6 or 7 times out of 10, I actually think the Rams would win that game. They just, to me, have a more consistent team, especially offensively. And the defense of the Lion, I don't know. I think they'll be definitely be put to the test up against Baker Mayfield, even though I have them winning against the Bucks. I think just personally, and I mean, I think I got the rest right. No, I got the Bucks upsetting
Uh,
the Eagles, and yeah, and I picked the Bills
so
to beat the Steelers.
so you got 2 out of 6 games correct. So I mean it's hard to do. I got 3 games. Mark, how
I
many
got
did you
two,
get?
two I
Yeah,
think.
so yeah, so it was we did pretty poorly, but
Thirty-three
it's all
percent win
good.
rate. Let's go. Success rate. Yes, sir.
Oscar, in your both of your AFC and NFC championship games, one of your opponents in that game was eliminated in the first round, so that's quite unfortunate.
Yes,
And
sir.
then same thing happened to me. I picked the Cowboys in the NFC championship game. I was wrong. Mark, you got the Browns in the AFC as well. It was a poor showing. So we're gonna get rid of this screen right now because it is kind of embarrassing. And we are going to kind of start over, but not really. We're just gonna continue from where we were. So Mark, I'll leave it off with you. Knowing what we know now that happened in the wild card round, how do
Yeah.
you think the rest of the playoffs are gonna go?
Yeah. So, starting, in the AFC side, you have a big match with CJ Stroud and the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm really interested. I'm really curious of what's gonna happen, and
Hmm.
I think the Baltimore Ravens are gonna win that game.
Okay.
I don't know. Just how I think. Chiefs Bills, classic. A classic. And I'm gonna be so honest. I think the Bills are gonna get the best of the Chiefs this time.
Okay.
And NFC
Interesting.
side, the Packers and the 49ers. I'm on the Packer train. I really am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're getting rid of your Super Bowl winner, even though they didn't even play last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And the Buccaneers versus the Lions. I think the Lions are just they're gonna be in this
Okay.
game.
Ooh, AFC North battle in the conference championship game.
Yeah.
All
Uh
right.
and the Super Bowl, I mean, this is really tough to predict, but I I don't see the Bills going to the Super Bowl. I really don't.
Yeah.
And if they do, I see them losing. And now I kind of would like to see the Lions Super Bowl. Like I think I predicted
Wow.
that before,
First time
but
ever. No, you did. I
oh.
don't think you did. You had 49ers winning the Super Bowl.
And honestly, the Super Bowl is gonna be a toss up. I really don't know. It's a tough one. I like both these teams. And
Wow.
I'm gonna go with the crazy thing, the record year, the new year, Dan Campbell leading his team, first ever Super Bowl, all these different. I would love to see that. You see, I don't care
Wow.
anymore. My Dolphins are out. I'm sad. Miami Dolphins are a great team, but if the Lions win the Super Bowl, this is a
Sorry,
story
guys.
in the making. This
Sorry
is
for the
a
technical
13
issues.
win team.
Good.
This is a story. They're these he's if Jared Goff does this, he is in the Hall of Fame. This guy, I mean, he just led a team. with no Super Bowls to the Super Bowl. Give me the Lions, baby.
Oh my God,
Oscar, I
Mark.
don't know
Woo!
how much you missed, but this guy just picked the Lions
Yeah,
to
no,
win the Super Bowl.
I can see what's on screen.
Let's
Oh
go.
God,
Okay,
oh
okay.
God, Mark, I have a lot
I'm
of
crazy,
problems
guys. I'm
with
crazy.
this. Yeah, I look,
I
I
I have a
Open the
lot
Red
of problems with
Bulls.
this as well.
I look,
I will say though that if you're right, props, but this is crazy.
look. Uh,
Teach me how to
am
dodge.
I
Teach me
next? Can I
Yeah,
choose my
yeah, go ahead.
preference? Thanks, Luke. Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
let me
So,
run this real quick.
no, no, you're good, you're good. So, I would
Yeah,
just
go
like
ahead.
to say, I would just like to say,
Yeah.
um, I've learned from my miscues and bad
Okay.
selections in the divisional, I mean in the wild card round. So I know what to expect. I have to pick the Baltimore Ravens, especially with how they ended off their season. Although,
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
if the Texans win, we have a serious conversation to be had about CJ
Oh yeah,
Stroud.
Yeah.
You understand?
I agree.
All right.
Yeah, that
Now,
makes
Not rookie
Chiefs
of the year though.
versus no, Chiefs versus Bills. Chiefs versus Bills. I mean, this is a game that is just an all-time classic. Great rivalry, but it's very one-sided, at least in the playoffs. And you know what? It's going to continue to be like that. Expect the Chiefs to win, and I
How
think it's
about
going to be.
those
Whoa, 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 whoa. You were clowning me
Chiefs?
last week for choosing the Chiefs over the Bills, and now you're agreeing with me?
What do you mean? I never said that.
Yeah, you both of you guys were surprised that I picked the Chiefs. Whatever. Go
How
ahead,
about
man.
those
I never said that. No, no, no.
Chiefs?
You
Someone
can
get
look
Andy
back at
Reid
the
a
tape.
cheeseburger.
Yeah, someone get that man a cheeseburger. And I think it's going to be a great AFC Championship game.
Um,
And you know what? I think the Ravens, man, they're gonna go to the Super Bowl because the Browns are not there to stop them.
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl
Although I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs get there. I mean, Patty Mahomes, come on, this guy, you know what we're talking about.
against this
Then
Ravens
I
defense, that
think
would be
the
crazy.
NFC is very clear to me though, and I think there's no team left with enough of an X factor besides maybe Green Bay to beat the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm picking the San Francisco 49ers to beat the Green Bay Packers. I think they're a little too young. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're the youngest team in the NFL, um, at least on average age. And I'm sorry to the Bucks, but there's no upset alert this week or continuing in the
Oh.
playoffs.
I had an
And
upset alert.
no, and I think that the Lions, surprise, surprise, even though I never expected them to get there, are in the NFC Championship.
Super Bowl.
But that's where it ends for them. It's the Niners, and then
A
damn,
classic.
a rematch. I think it's a little,
Classic.
I think it's a little boring. I think that if this does end up being the Super Bowl, I think it's going to be a little bit boring, and I expect the 49ers to get their revenge.
All right, very interesting. That was the same ending that I predicted the first time around, so we'll see if that happens. All right. I'm doing a little. I think I'm gonna be a little interesting.
I like
Um,
interesting.
okay. Texans Ravens. I actually want to pick the Texans. I don't know why. I just have this feeling. It's just a feeling. There's no rhyme or reason for it. I just have a
I
feeling that
got a feeling.
I have a
Ooh,
feeling that the Texans could win.
that the
Uh,
Texans are gonna
with
win the
that said, I'm still
division.
gonna pick the Ravens because I can't pick against the Ravens. Like they're the best team in the league. But I'm just not like I'm kind of a fraud because
Yeah,
I'm still picking the Ravens.
You're a
that's what I was
fraud.
saying. I was like, I
But
would love the for the Texans to win. I just think the Ravens are gonna
Do
win.
it, Colin. Do it.
yeah,
I know you want to.
I'm still
I know
picking the
you want to.
Ravens. But just know that if the Texans win, I said it. All
Nah,
right.
you didn't say
So
shit. Is it?
No,
If
that
it if
doesn't
it ain't
count.
on
You
there,
gotta pick it.
if
You
it ain't
gotta
on
pick
there, you didn't
it.
say it.
yeah,
Yeah, you didn't
I
say it.
know.
If it ain't on
It's
there,
not the
you ain't
same.
saying it, bud.
All right,
I said the Packers are gonna beat the 49ers, and I put it on the thing.
all right. Okay,
I
great
got a
job.
record of it. Go Packers. Go Pack.
All
Go.
right. All right. Chiefs Bills is actually the only matchup on here that I predicted in the first time around, and I picked Chiefs the first time. I'm picking the Chiefs again, same thing as Oscar. Chiefs Ravens in the conference championship game. NFC side, Packers 49ers. Just like the Packers owned the Cowboys, the 49ers owned the Packers. And I'm going to go with the 49ers. All right, man. Remember last time I said I was a historical guy like 50 times? This is where things getting a little chippy. I
Uh,
have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Detroit
dog,
Lions.
dog.
I
You gotta
just
gamble.
I really like Baker Mayfield. Ever since he was with the Browns, things were going a little haywire for him. I stood
I
by
remember
his
that.
side.
I
I've
remember
been a
that.
I've been a Baker Mayfield guy for a long time. I just believe in him. The 49ers, the Lions played the Buccaneers earlier in the season, and the Lions won 20-6. I don't think the same thing's going to happen. I think they're going to watch this film, review their mistakes, and I think the Buccaneers are going to surprise everyone and go to the NFC Championship game. Uh, and then
What
after that,
story for the
I
comeback player of the
I'm just
year? Huh?
we'll see, man. I think the rest of this is just going to go the same way I predicted it the first time around. Ravens
That
and
AFC Championship
49ers.
game, Chiefs versus Ravens, should be the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
Just respectfully, like that's
That'd
probably
be
gonna be the
crazy.
best game of the playoffs.
It would have been a great Super Bowl, if I may say.
Yeah, go
Texans versus Cowboys, the Texas Bowl.
ahead. That's
The
funny.
Texas Bowl in
One
playing
year,
in
baby, one
Nevada.
year.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Um, well, like I said last time, these are my championship winners anyway, just a different path to get there. And like last time, I'm sticking with my guns. 49ers, you are winning the Super Bowl over the Baltimore Ravens.
Go
So yeah,
Lions.
go go. We'll
I
see, man.
got
I
a
don't know. I
feeling.
just got a feeling the Lions are gonna lose. They always find a way to mess it
Ooh,
up.
ooh,
All
that
right.
the
Uh,
Lions are gonna win the Super Bowl. That the
that's been
Lions
us
are gonna
this
win
week.
the Super Bowl. That the
Yeah.
Lions are gonna win the Super Bowl. Feeling. Ooh, ooh. Someone call Will I Am.
That was really nice, man.
I'm the next Will I Am. I am Will I Who.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We got a lot of
Yeah.
NFL. It's gonna be a great NFL week, so hopefully, things will go our way and my predictions will be correct. I don't want to go through
Yeah. Hopefully
predictions.
my predictions are correct this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another great episode of the Get It Right Saturday Night Podcast. We hope you guys enjoy your weekend. You hope you guys enjoy the divisional games, and we will see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great one.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.